Pretty boring hack. Sounds like they just got some financial stats. No thanks. I had enough of that with the Diablo investor conference call.
Stinky.
What a waste.
Hey, you know how the Chinese are with math, man.
At least steal some, nuclear missile silo numbers or something. Something cool. Why break into the treasury? That's just silly.
They just want to know, what's on the books, I guess.
Canada spent this much this year. We've got you now, Canada.
I mean, and it's not like Canada's friends with, the rest of the most powerful nations in the world or anything like that. No buddy thing. So yeah, you're really not going to get anything. But, yeah.
In other news, I got that law thing with China right here. The Chinese government recently passed a law prohibiting the use of in-game money or items to purchase real goods and services, perhaps out of the concern that in-game money could supplant official currency and undermine economic stability. Damn.
It's crazy.
That's nuts.
Oh, China.
I'm just blown away.
Well, it's the same. I mean, it's just a barter system. All currencies are really just agreed upon barter systems. And if you and I agree that, hey, I'm willing to give you this car if you give me
your WoW account,
your character stuff, your WoW account, then that car is worth a WoW account, at least in that exchange. And if enough people agree on it, it becomes a currency.
Yep.
Man, I need to reactivate my account.
It's the basis behind the gold standard. It's the fact that we like gold that is the reason why, it has any meaning at all. Is everybody agrees, hey, gold is pretty awesome.
Yep.
Well, the U.S. dollar hasn't been backed by gold in a very long time. The only
True.
thing that gives it is just how much is circulating.
I do. Yeah, I know it is more complicated than that. At present, but it's so complicated, it's just easier to pretend it still uses gold.
You know what really matters is gold is going to be an actual currency in Diablo 3.
Oh, yes.
I was just pulling it back to Diablo because this whole economics crap is really boring me.
Fair enough.
Understandable. I'm ready to move on too soon. Is that all we got for news this week?
Pretty much, yeah.
All right, we'll move on to community feedback and questions. We got a question from Rhinox sent through email, theworldstonekeep@gmail.com. What will you do if there was leaked information from Diablo 3 about something big? For example, some last boss or last cinematic, but Blizzard didn't want to show you all, but someone put it on the internet. Do you look at it and wait until game release? I know that StarCraft 2 something was leaked, but Blizzard managed to close that info. Still, many people who wanted to see it saw it. And I'm not going to say what that StarCraft 2 thing was because, obviously Blizzard didn't want that released. So, yeah. And obviously we follow the same vein that if Blizzard didn't want something about Diablo released, like a cinematic or something, and it was, we wouldn't talk about it because that's messed up, man.
I tell you what's really impressive about the whole thing is that if you look at Blizzard's track record, pretty much nothing gets leaked, ever. It's crazy. And
pretty solid.
There are leaks all over the place all the time, like Crysis 2 pretty much got the entire game leaked out before it came out.
Yep.
Want to know why? It's because nobody wants to give up their copy of Diablo 3. You leak stuff on Diablo 3, you don't get to play it anymore, and that would just be very upsetting for a lot of people.
Yeah.
Well, you look at, if you're on Joystick or Kotaku, like news about leaked Square Enix projects is basically daily routine. Like, oh yeah, here's 5 more leaks of stuff from 13 Verses or whatever, and it gets to the point. Yeah, there's so many holes everywhere that it's, and in the film industry, it's almost a take it. It's basically a given that the entire thing will be leaked. It's not if, it's just when.
I'm going to speculate here and say that when it comes to Blizzard employees, we're dealing with a different breed of people who actually enjoy their jobs and take pride in it. Everyone at Blizzard works hard on what they do, and so I think if anyone leaked it, that thought doesn't even cross their mind because they have such pride and everybody works so hard on it and they have such passion for the games and everything that they do. That is why there's like not many leaks. I mean, if you go to a different company who treats their employees like crap and pump this out because we need it now and doesn't treat them like actual people, I mean, you get disgruntled and you're like, I'm going to leak this video. Can't find out it was me, or maybe you can, but I don't care anyways because I hate my job and I hate you. But I mean, take a look at Blizzard. I don't think you'll find one employee there who thinks that way.
Or they just put bombs in all of their brains.
There's always that.
Can I tell my wife? The bomb says no.
Let's go to the bomb meter. Nope. Sorry.
I was trying to find a really, really funny leak for you guys that I read about last month. You know the PlayStation commercials? You ever watch those?
Oh, yeah.
Remember the guy that you see on there on all those?
Yeah. Yeah.
Well,
Kevin Butler.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
He accidentally leaked this security code out. just over Twitter. Like everybody saw it.
Oh, right, that. Yeah.
Thought it was a Battleship reference and just posted it.
Because it was one of the root keys to a security hole that has since been patched out. But the guy who unlocked the root key, sent it to Kevin Butler, basically baiting him with hey, look, we've unlocked your machine, and then Kevin Butler retweets it, with like, yeah, whatever the heck this means, you sunk my battleship.
Yeah.
Wow.
So funny, dude.
Good job. Let's move on. Beefy Squire. This is just feedback here. In regards to episode 16 from the blog, Beefy Squire. Awesome name. Really short show today, guys. Enjoyable nonetheless, but hope for more next time. Well, I think we've come through there. This is going on, an hour and a half now?
Wiener.
Somewhere around there. Yeah. But yeah, episode 16 was really short. As I mentioned in response to that, it's because I was running on laptop battery and it died right at the end of the show. So the whole time I was kind of like, let's move on here, let's keep going. Next up, we got The Devil's Hand on the forums. It's sad in a way that there are a lot of new people on the forum now since the Facebook push that they're unaware of the Worldstone Keep. I just hope they catch up because it's a great source of info. Well, thank you very much, sir. Hats off to you. And yeah, if you're new to the forums, I noticed we got a new record on most hits in a day on the blog. Broke a new record, 374 hits in a day, one day.
Nice.
And that is because of the Facebook push and all the new people on the Blizzard forums. And there's a lot of buzz around the game right now. I mean, you go to the forums and there's just new posts all over the place. I mean, they're not. Some of them won't be good, but that's just the nature of forums. So yeah, you're welcome and thank you.
Can I take this next guy? Can I take this guy?
Yes.
Because I read his post earlier today, and I was like, oh, we better talk about this guy. Okay.
Negative Nancy.
Yes, Negative Nancy. Okay. So on the forums, under the Diablo podcast, announced that we're having one. What questions do you want? Or what do you want us to talk about on this? And this guy comes up and he says, talk about how the game is taking forever to come out and these forums are filled with retards and trolls. Okay, well, you're either a retard or a troll. I'm just going to put that out there. What kind of comment is that? The game, okay, let's talk about how the game's taking forever. Okay, it's taking forever, so?
What's your point?
What's your point? Okay, then talk about how Blizzard sucks balls at time management? Really? Really, do they? Because I think we covered this already. Obviously, this guy doesn't listen to the podcast. He just is looking for, he just wants people to hear his complaints.
Please, if you know Delmas in real life, get him to the podcast. Make him understand.
Yes.
Educate him.
We've addressed this before.
Maybe he has leaked information and is aware that Blizzard is actually communicating using carrier pigeon and smoke.
That's exactly. No, they're using fire signals.
Yes, Negative Nancy. If you have confirmed that they are indeed using fire signals and carrier pigeons, I will agree with your sentiment that yes, they suck balls at time management. But until you can back that up.
Yeah, okay. Well, listen, dude, they take a long time to make their games because they're amazing games. World of Warcraft owns, what was the percent of the MMO market? Like 90? Okay.
102.
102%. They are the MMO market, okay?
That's a real statistic.
Warcraft 3 and StarCraft 2 are, like the biggest esports games out there right now. I can't even think, is there any FPS that are even comparable to the amount of money that gets put into the esports with those? Like, StarCraft 2 is pretty much owning the esports right now, okay?
Yep.
Okay.
Modern
honestly,
Warfare 2 drags in huge amounts, but esports-wise, yeah, I can't think of any.
I'm pretty sure any day now Korea is going to rename their country StarCraft.
I'm not talking about how much money the game itself pulled in. I mean, how much money is being put out to the professionals for esports events, like Call of Duty.
Yeah, and to sustain it.
There's no balancing there. Let's be honest; those guys don't balance those games worth garbage. But the North American Star League was just announced a few days ago. That's StarCraft 2 GSL in North America. It's in California with a $400,000 pool prize. Okay. This thing just opened up, so we finally have GSL in North America. Like, StarCraft 2 is heading esports. Okay. Anyways, talk about what we can expect at the next BlizzCon. I think Blizzard did that themselves. Just go to www.blizzcon.com. You'll be able to take care of that yourself. Okay. Then on to his two not so negative things. Perhaps even talk about these fools who think D3 should be PvP balanced and enough to be an esport. See, now, that actually is a big part of the forums right now. There's a lot of balance, like people wanting it to be like balanced for 1v1, and I don't think people fully realize what would be required in balancing that and what the game would actually turn out to be. Like, you'd have to pretty much start over, just because like the game is designed around PvE, and the fact of the matter is, like, StarCraft 2 was geared for esports. It was made to be an esport. Like, it is made to be competitive.
Exactly.
Diablo as a franchise is PvE, and they have PvP in there. It's just something on the side to do. So I think that the Diablo 3 will be competitive. The arenas will be competitive, but I don't see entire tournaments. Like, I don't think that there'll be a GSL opening up for
no.
There won't be like a GDL Global Diablo League with like $1 million to the winner. I don't think that kind of stuff's gonna happen.
I've been arguing on the forums for a little while now about that same topic, because I don't think people get how hard it would be to balance 9 billion freaking combinations times 5.
Yeah, like, there's so many things that go into it.
Yeah, then you add gear.
Okay, StarCraft, you look at StarCraft, and there's 3 races. Each of them play unique. Like, they're not similar races at all. There's no Warcraft 2, like, this unit is the same as this unit. They're all completely different from tier 1 all the way to the end. They balance all of those against each other, and that takes up pretty much, that's what they do. That's what the game is.
That's what they developed it to be.
Yeah, the next decade, that's what they will be doing, is balancing that game for esports, for the professional scene. If you want Diablo to be that, they'd have to start from scratch. There'd be a lot less abilities. There'd be a lot less gear. It wouldn't be that fun. Like, you look at World of Warcraft. Yeah, there's 10 classes, and they just recently kind of really started with within the last couple of years, making that, trying to make it an esport, and it's kind of a joke to a lot of pro gamers, WoW Arena. But basically everybody has the same gear, and that's where they start from. If you want to be competitive in PvP, you have the best PvP gear, and then they just can balance from there, and then it's just tweaking abilities and crap.
Right.
But you look at that, and how many people here in this podcast right now have a complaint about a PvP change that was for PvP balance that screwed over some aspect of PvE. Yeah, I can think of about a dozen of them right now that, there's a change. This was nerfed because it's too OP in PvP, but now it sucks in PvE.
Yep.
That's going to happen. That would happen. And Diablo, if they were trying to make it an esport, PvE would just get nerfed to crap because it's not fair in PvP. Oh, this ability has to just be completely destroyed because it doesn't work in PvP.
Well, and I think, and I've brought it up before. The idea is like, well, they do have the split functionality, but unfortunately the biggest victims of those, it's not just that it's like, okay, well, Frostbolt needs to do less damage in PvP. That's easy. What really gets hammered by those changes are the unique things that aren't so granular, like what ends up being the cooldown on teleport.